Let me show you the situation on the Yangtze River. I've been loading yellow sand in Yueyang City and heading to Jiangsu Province. I waited for a few days and unloaded 500 to 600 tons of cargo, but then they stopped unloading. I've dropped anchor here. Look at those huge ships with over 10,000 tons, 20,000 tons, all anchored here. They're empty with no cargo to load. It's not that we don't want to work or that we can't. It's just once the cargo is loaded, we can't unload it. And once we unload it, we can't reload. Us ship operators just can't hold on anymore.
On March 16th, female vlogger Ren Caiyun posted a video stating that large ships, some over 10,000 tons and 20,000 tons, are all anchored in the Yangtze River with no cargo to load. The Yangtze River, known as the economic lifeline of China, has seen a sharp decline in activity by March 2025. Once dubbed the Golden Waterway, this vital shipping route is now eerily silent, with many vessels left without cargo, leaving crew members struggling to make a living. On March 11th, another female vlogger, Wang Mei, posted a video questioning whether the Yangtze's waterway transportation has truly come to a halt, noting that those working on the ships are finding it increasingly difficult to continue.
Friends, let me take you into the Yangtze and show you the situation with waterway transportation. Do you see these big ships? They are all 20,000 ton, 30,000 ton, 10,000 ton ships, and some are just a few hundred tons. They are all lined up here waiting for cargo, but they can't load anything. The transport on the Yangtze is paralyzed right now. What's going to happen to our big ships? Every ship, to some extent, owes debts, including mine. We still have crew salaries, insurance, annual inspections, and a whole list of expenses. We can't make enough money to cover those costs. Even eating is a problem. Friends, how do we hold on? Will things get better next year?
On March 1st, a vlogger posted a video showing the stagnation in China's inland waterway shipping market, with numerous empty ships waiting for cargo to load. As the link connecting inland regions to international shipping markets, China's inland waterways have been a crucial part of the long-distance transportation of bulk goods and the supply chain for foreign trade. Official data shows that by the end of 2023, China's inland waterways covered 128,200 kilometers, with 106,600 vessels, and a total freight volume of 4.79 billion tons. The waterways primarily handle bulk goods such as containers, coal, petroleum, iron ore, and grain. However, in 2025, as China's domestic demand remains weak and foreign trade slows, the inland shipping industry appears to be losing momentum. Inland shipping is closely tied to various industries, especially real estate and manufacturing. Therefore, the lack of cargo for inland vessels is not just a shipping issue, but a reflection of the broader economic struggles facing China. In 2025, China's real estate market is nearing collapse, leading to a sharp decline in demand for construction material transport. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics of China, real estate development investment in 2024 was 10 trillion yuan, a 10.6% drop compared to the previous year. The floor space under construction decreased by 12.7%, and new commercial housing sales area fell by 13%. The sales amount for new homes also dropped by 17%. In the first 2 months of 2025, real estate development investment totaled 1.07 trillion yuan, down 9.8% year-on-year. The sales area of new homes was 108 million square meters, down 5%, while its sales value was 1 trillion yuan, a decrease of 2.6%. As of the end of February, the inventory of unsold commercial housing reached 799 million square meters, up 5% from the previous year. The Chinese Communist Party has repeatedly emphasized stabilizing the real estate market, but it's clear that those efforts have so far failed. Some netizens commented, "The real estate sector is struggling, and with less demand for sand, cement, and gravel, cargo is definitely in short supply." Others added, "There's not much left to build, so sand is no longer needed." Some also noted, "Right now, nothing is going well in China, and it's tough in every industry. Even we truck drivers have no cargo to carry." The inland shipping industry is also closely tied to foreign trade containers, with connections to freight forwarding, import-export trade, and foreign factories. In recent years, foreign trade has slowed down. significantly reducing export goods. The situation has worsened with the escalation of the US-China trade war, leading many factories along the Yangtze and coastal regions to close or relocate to Southeast Asia, severely impacting waterway freight. On March 13th, a factory owner posted a video discussing the current state of order intake. We're a factory that does OEM work, always handling orders from American clients. But this year, due to tariff issues, our orders have dropped. Before, we were shipping 20,000 units every month, but now everything's stopped. The clients said to pause the orders for now. Since there's a 10% tariff increase, they're waiting to see how things develop and have stopped everything, including goods that are already finished, which are just sitting in the factory waiting for further instructions. The clients didn't say we can't ship, just that they need to reduce prices. We're still negotiating with them on how to share the extra 10% tariff imposed by the US. The factory owner stated that currently factories have nothing to do, and everyone is just waiting, unsure of the direction things will take. Everyone is observing the situation, but they don't know how long they can wait, as if there's no shipment, they won't receive any payment. Meanwhile, the factory still has to cover monthly wages and expenses for workers, and the question now is how long they can keep going. According to the latest 2025 data from China, inland river shipping rates for small vessels have dropped to just 6 yuan per ton, well below operating costs. The combination of overcapacity and shrinking cargo has left the shipping industry in a difficult situation. A vlogger in the shipping industry posted a video analyzing the current state, stating that when the market for large ships is struggling, the market for small ships is also being suppressed. I don't know if you've noticed, but in the past year or two, business for 1,000-ton boats has really slowed down. When the restrictions on floating crane operations first started, there weren't many 1,000-ton boats on the Yangtze River. Later, people realized that these boats were more suitable for Yangtze and inland river transport, so they started building them in large numbers, which has led to market saturation. Just like with the big ships, you see them everywhere. Now, everywhere you look, there are small boats, and it's become a crazy competition, making business worse. A floating crane, also known as a lifting ship, is primarily used for the loading and unloading of large cargo at ports. The crane fee refers to the cost incurred when a crane is used to lift or return containers at a container yard. A vlogger noted that when restrictions on floating cranes were first implemented, port fees were very high, ranging from 13 to 15 yuan per ton. To avoid these exorbitant fees, many ship owners chose to have small 1,000-ton vessels directly enter inland waterways from upstream. When shipping costs were lower, the port fees remained high. As more ports were built and inland shipping routes were opened, market competition intensified. He explained that at the time, inland shipping in Jiangyin was underdeveloped, and the crane fees were also high. Today, crane fees have dropped to just a few yuan to 30 yuan per ton, with many ports operating at a loss, and the market outlook remains uncertain. The vlogger continued, saying that now cargo owners are comparing shipping costs. While the shipping rates for large ships are still low, port fees have decreased. If a 2,000-ton vessel transports goods directly from upstream to the inland river, the shipping rate is still not cost-effective. In contrast, it's more economical to have the large ship dock first, and then use a smaller vessel for transshipment. As a result, the shipping rates for 2,000-ton vessels have dropped continuously, leading to the current predicament. A netizen commented, "The root cause is the lack of construction, low demand, and overcapacity. It's bound to result in excessive competition." He said, "With overcapacity, ship tonnage keeps increasing, and the number of vessels doesn't decrease, so doing business will only get harder. If you buy a ship without loans or debts, you can still survive. But if you're in debt, it's risky. Even if the debt is paid off, by then the ship will be old and worth little." According to Chinese media reports, in inland shipping in China, except for a few large companies, most operations are family-run, with sons inheriting the business from their fathers. The entire family's future is tied to 2 ships, resulting in an extremely fragmented inland shipping market, where ship owners endlessly compete for orders, leading to a situation where no one makes a profit. In addition to earning little, the low market concentration with mostly small ship owners has another downside. These ships are aging. On China's inland waterways, 20-year-old or older vessels account for 20% of the fleet, many of which were built in the 1980s. The Chinese government has been pushing for ship standardization and the adoption of new energy vessels. New energy ships have become the focus of the shipbuilding boom. For instance, 60-meter coal transport ships and 70-meter container ships have achieved standardized production, and electric ships are using battery swapping systems. In addition to electric ships, LNG-powered and methanol-powered ships are also being developed, such as the 12,000-ton methanol-fueled ship being built in Hubei. However, for ship owners, a ship represents the livelihood of their entire family, an asset worth millions. It's not easy to simply replace them. While the government is encouraging this green revolution with subsidies, the reality is that many in the industry have expressed dissatisfaction. On March 12th, a vlogger posted a video warning against blindly following the government's promotion of new energy subsidies. These are all new energy boats, 36 of them. There are 2 more on the platform that haven't been launched yet. They are built in response to subsidies for new energy boats. They cost over $100 million, but these boats have been out of service for 2 years because there's no market for them. Look, these new energy boats are growing weeds inside. So whether these boats can operate or make a profit is still uncertain. You can't blindly invest. A social media user commented, "Everything is going for new energy, but the actual situation needs to be considered. It might work for tourist boats, but for cargo transport, it's simply not feasible. New energy cannot replace traditional diesel engines. First, the density of charging stations is insufficient. Second, the battery power on ships is too low. Third, charging takes too long. The technology is immature, and battery depletion happens too quickly during high-speed sailing." Another user said, "Many people are building ships not for transportation and freight, but to claim government subsidies." Industry insiders pointed out that ship owners in China's inland shipping market are generally heavily in debt, with older vessels still making up 20% of the market. Replacing these with new energy ships is no easy task. While the subsidy policy appears to support industrial upgrades, it has actually allowed shipyards to profit immensely, while the shipping market remains sluggish and freight rates remain too low. Ultimately, the ones paying the price for this imbalanced situation are the ordinary people of China. On March 13th, a seasoned industry insider posted on social media stating that nearly 600 ships, including those passing through the Grand Canal, are waiting for locks, with dozens of fleets stuck waiting for days. While long-haul cargo prices have slightly increased, short-haul freight for transporting sand, gravel, coal, and other materials has only risen by 1 to 2 yuan, around 3 yuan lower than the same time last year. The vlogger explained that with the increasing number of container ships, new energy ships, and LNG vessels along the Grand Canal, the market's shipping capacity is severely oversupplied. The imbalance between supply and demand continues to worsen, and it is unlikely to be alleviated in the short term. How long until the shipping industry will turn to its peak? As a veteran in the industry, I have an idea, but I can't say it. If I do, my Douyin account will be restricted. The truth is hard to hear, and it makes people uncomfortable. No one wants to hear it. When a social media user asked the vlogger about the future development of the shipping industry, the vlogger responded, "We can only survive for now. In the end, we might have to sell the ships for scrap. It's safe to say that the shipping industry may never see a spring again. Being able to make ends meet is already considered good. The truth may be uncomfortable for some to hear." Recently, Chinese officials claimed that the traditional production organization and resource allocation methods of the shipping industry are changing. The transformation towards digitization, automation, and green development is inevitable. With the application of new generation mobile communication, Beidou high-precision navigation, and time-space positioning technologies. However, for many older crew members with lower education levels, this represents a significant challenge. A more worrying trend is that younger generations, particularly those born in the 90s, are unwilling to join the industry. leading to concerns about a lack of successors in China's inland shipping sector. On March 10th, a 60s-aged crew member posted a video expressing his intention to leave the industry once he pays off its debts. There's so much red tape, harbor forecasts, cargo forecasts, all kinds of QR codes. Once you dock, there's garbage and sewage treatment, photos, signing, stamping. The procedures are endless. There are no available berths. When you want to anchor, the vast anchorage area only offers a few dozen spots. What used to be public resources is now only available through online applications. After going through all the online processes, you're told that ships not registered in the port can't anchor. And then there are smart buttons, various small programs, and software that make simple tasks unnecessarily complicated. Many older, less educated shipping people feel like children, lost and unsure. Most people born in the 90s don't want to go on ships, and people born in the 2000s are even rare, like giant pandas. Now, most of the main force in inland shipping are people from the 70s and 80s. As this generation retires, it's hard not to worry about the future of the inland shipping industry. To me, the shipping industry is gradually becoming just like the construction industry. Hard work, low income, with no hope in sight. Many netizens criticized the inefficiency and oppression of the Chinese bureaucracy. Who came up with this ridiculous anchorage declaration system? First come, first served. No space means no anchoring. Do the people operating the ships not understand? A bunch of people who don't even know how to operate a ship sits in offices all day thinking of ways to oppress ship owners. It's a tragedy for the shipping industry when outsiders manage insiders. Us born in the 70s hate the regulations imposed by the government departments. They're a real headache. The office workers are always coming up with new ways to make things more complicated. On March 13th, a vlogger in the shipping industry posted a video saying that the shipping market has become worse every year, with more people losing their jobs this year. While Chinese officials claimed that the economic data for January and February exceeded expectations, social media users mocked. It's all the opposite. The common people have no money, they're all in debt, and many are unemployed. Netizens commented, "Real estate is down, and related industries are also struggling. In the next 3 to 5 years, 60% of the ships will be out of work." This crisis isn't limited to freight shipping. The tourism industry is also facing hardships. On February 23rd, a vlogger posted a video lamenting how tourist boats, once packed with people, now have very few passengers. He said, "The Yangtze River shipping industry has been tough these past 2 years. People are concerned that if unemployment and debt problems worsen, social instability may follow." In a bizarre turn, while the Yangtze River remains eerily quiet, China's shipbuilding industry is booming. On February 10th, Wu Bo, general manager of Minqiang Shipbuilding Company in Chongqing, told the media, "We can't accept any new orders this year. Even next year's orders are already fully booked." Many netizens questioned, if shipping isn't profitable, why are they still building ships like crazy? On March 16th, a vlogger involved in shipping posted a video asking, "Everyone says shipping isn't profitable, yet the mid and lower tier shipyards are full of new ships. Where is this money coming from?" China's shipbuilding industry has long dominated the global market through cost advantages, with orders even including military ships. In 2024, the Chinese government introduced subsidy policies, offering tax breaks and low-interest loans to stimulate shipbuilding in an attempt to boost the economy. However, this prosperity is short-lived, leading to overcapacity in the industry. This shipbuilding boom is facing obstacles abroad. On January 16th, the U.S. Trade Representative's office reported that China is suppressing costs through subsidies, even scrapping ships early to artificially boost demand, which harms global competition. The report stated, "Enterprises in the Chinese shipbuilding supply chain benefit from China's lack of effective labor rights and the use of forced or compulsory labor. Likewise, China's non-market excess capacity in inputs, such as steel, advantage downstream Chinese enterprises. As a result, China's shipbuilding companies account for over 50% of the global commercial fleet's cargo capacity." Following the inauguration of the new U.S. administration, in February 2025, the U.S. Trade Representative's office proposed charging up to $1.5 million for ships manufactured or operated in China every time they dock in U.S. ports. Operators with fleets comprising more than 50% Chinese vessels would also have to pay $1 million. Soren Toft, CEO of the world's largest shipping company MSC, recently stated that such port fees would have a significant impact, raising the cost per container by $600 to $800. Data shows that 24% of MSC's ships are made in China, and 92% of its new ship orders will be built there. Additionally, 20% of U.S. import trade is carried by Chinese vessels. This policy would undoubtedly deal a severe blow to China's shipbuilding industry.